Hello, here we are. It's the weekend. I hope you're having a good weekend. If this lesson starts your weekend, then I hope the rest of the weekend is great. If this lesson is at the end of the weekend, then I hope you've had a good weekend already. I would like to go over 4 problems with you on the ALEKS assignment of volume and surface area. I've put a screen with the large number in between each problem in case you need to rewind or fast forward to the appropriate problem. Let's start. We're going to find the volume of a rectangular prism. Let's look at the reference sheet. The formula will be length times width times height. We'll call this edge the length. And we'll overwrite that. The length is 3 centimeters. We'll call this edge the width. And that will be 4 centimeters. Try to work the problem out of the space to the right. So I'll label this side the height. And the height is 2 centimeters. Volume is length times width times height. The length is 3. The width is 4. The height is 2. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 times 2 is 24. The volume is centimeters. And we're talking about 24 centimeters cubed. Question number 2. We're going to find surface area, but notice there is a 1/3 section missing in this rectangular prism. Surface area formula is 2 times the length times the width plus 2 times the height times the width plus 2 times the length times the height. Again, what I'm pointing out here, let's assume that it is a regular shape. Let's find the dimensions of the regular shape, and then we will figure out what parts to remove to get the surface area of this irregular shape. So I'm building blocks to make it a regular shape. This is in inches. We'll say the length is 3 inches. We'll say the width is 5 inches. And we'll say the height is 4 inches. That's the width. And this is our height. The length is 3, the width is 5, the height is 4, the width is 5, the length is 3, and the height is 4. 2 times 3 is 6, 6 times 5 is 30, 2 times 4 is 8, 8 times 5 is 40, 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 4 is 24. So you can follow along where I'm at. 30 plus 40 plus 24 gives us a surface area of 94 inches. So back to the illustration. I computed the regular shape. And now I have to consider that there is a 1/3 by 3 section that's been cut out to make an irregular prism. So the top will stay. If I float this piece down, I'm still counting the top. And if I float the piece, I'm still counting the front edge. The part that gets removed are these two faces on the side for a total area 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3. I'll clone this section. So I've removed the sides which have a dimension of 1 by 3 and 1 by 3. This area is 3. This area is 3. I'm going to remove 6 inches from the surface area to arrive at the answer, 88 inches cubed. Now, I suppose an alternate method would be to compute the surface area of the top and then add that to the surface area of the bottom and then remove the overlap. So, this length is 3, this width is 2, this height is 1. 2 times 3 times 2 plus 2 times 3 times 1 plus 2 times 3 times 1. 2 times 3 is 6, 6 times 2 is 12, 2 times 3 is 6, 2 times 3 is 6. The surface area of the top is 24. We'll talk about the overlap in a second. The bottom dimensions are 3 for the length, 5 for the width, and 3 for the height. Well, what if we considered the top prism separately from the bottom prism? The dimensions of the top, the length would be 3. The length is 3. The width is 2. So the length is 3. And the width is 2. And the height is 1. So as we begin to use the formula, 2 times the length times the width plus 2 times the length This irregular shape is such an interesting problem. Let's look at one more solution. Let's consider the top prism surface area, and then let's consider the bottom prism surface area. So if we drew a line here and remove the top, the length would be 3, the width would be 2, and the height would be 1. But before we substitute into the formula, one of the measurements is not necessary, as the shapes are stacked on top of each other. When we consider the length and the width, one of the length and width measurements, like the bottom of the shape, we have covered up the bottom, which means we won't need to double the length and width. We will only need the top, 3 times 2. Then we'll need the front and back, and there are 2 of those sides. Then the last dimensions are the very sides. So here's the top. We don't need the bottom. Here's the front and back. Here's the sides. The surface area of the top with the bottom removed is 16 inches. So when we consider the bottom shape, the length is 3, the width is 5, and the height is 3. Okay, on to question 3. Find the volume of the rectangular prism. Volume formula, length times width times height. This is a cube. The length is 5, the width is 5, and the height is 5. The computations, 5 times 5 times 5 gives us a volume of 125 cubic yards. And question 4. Find the surface area of this rectangular prism. The formula: surface area is 2 times the length times the width, plus 2 times the height times the width, plus 2 times the length times the height. So we'll say the height here equals 4, length equals 7, and the width is 2. So let's begin substituting. The length is 7, the width is 2. The height is 4, the width is 2, the length is 7, and the height is 4. 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 7 is 28, 2 times 4 is 8, 8 times 2 is 16, 2 times 7 is 14, and 14 times 4 is 56. So you can follow along. 28 plus 16 plus 56. The volume is 100 inches cubed.